One of the most destabilizing experiences in relationships is this: you're absolutely certain about what someone meant, felt, or intended, and later you realize that you were wrong, like not slightly wrong, but profoundly wrong. What makes it unsettling is that at that time, it didn't feel like a guess, it felt like complete reality. So in transference-focused psychotherapy, we don't treat it as a failure. We understand it as a momentary disturbance in reality testing. So today I want to talk about what reality testing actually is, how it fits into a healthy personality structure, how it develops, why it becomes distorted, how to recognize when your reality testing is compromised, and how it can be restored. The thing is that it's not a fixed trait. It's a psychological capacity, like skill, which can grow. In transference-focused psychotherapy, personality is not defined by some surface traits. It's defined by structure, how the mind is organized. A healthy or neurotic level personality structure includes several core capacities: a coherent, integrated identity, stable sense of self over time, values and self-image that do not radically shift depending on context, good reality testing, the ability to distinguish internal experience from external reality, and capacity to question your perceptions. Also integrated object relations, ability to see others as whole people holding positive and negative qualities at the same time, no rapid swings between idealization and devaluation, mature defense functioning, less reliance on denial and splitting, greater use of humor, sublimation, capacity for mutual reciprocal relationships based on negotiation but not control or fear. Today I want to focus on reality testing because without it, relationships become unstable. Reality testing is often misunderstood. Well, so first of all, it doesn't mean suppressing feelings or being detached. It refers to the capacity to distinguish internal psychological experience from external observable reality. It means being able to ask, what am I feeling, what am I imagining, and what is actually happening? A person with good reality testing can say, I feel rejected, but I'm not sure whether rejection actually occurred. A person with compromised reality testing thinks, I feel rejected, it means you rejected me. So the difference is reflection that you give to your thinking in that moment. And this skill, let's call it skill, is not inborn. It develops through early relational experiences. Children learn reality testing when caregivers reflect emotions, maintain emotional continuity during conflict. For example, child says, you hate me, and a healthy parent says, I'm angry, but I don't hate you. That interaction teaches your child that emotions change, relationships remain. But when caregivers are emotionally unpredictable or intrusive or require their children to regulate adults' emotions, children learn that their internal perception must be reality because there is no stable external reference. So this is where projection replaces perception. In borderline level personality organization, reality testing is often intact in neutral situations, but it becomes compromised under emotional activation, especially when there's attachment, anxiety, and it's crucial. Reality testing tends to break down when you experience fear of abandonment, shame, or humiliation is triggered, aggression is mobilized, or dependency feels dangerous, and people start splitting and use projection and projective identification, which replace reality testing. Here are some signs that your reality testing may be compromised in the moment. You have absolute certainty about another person's intent, urgency, like you feel you must act right now, inability to tolerate ambiguity, moral righteousness, emotional intensity, and also it can look like persistent accusations, disproportionate emotional reactions, difficulty acknowledging alternative explanations. The key is the loss of reflective capacity. In transference-focused psychotherapy, reality testing is restored within the therapeutic relationship. So what the therapist does, slows the interaction, clarifies affect before interpretation, points contradictions gently. Over time, the patient internalizes this reflective function. Reality testing doesn't improve through insight alone. It improves through repeated, intentional micro-interruptions in how we perceive and respond to others. So I'm going to walk you through specific practices with real examples so you can recognize these moments in your own life. So skill number 1, separate observation from interpretation. This is the foundation of reality testing. Ask yourself, what did I actually observe? And what did I add to that observation? Observation is what a camera would record. Interpretation, the story your mind created. So for example, your partner doesn't respond to a text for several hours. Observation, they haven't replied since 2 p.m. Interpretation, they don't care, they're losing interest, I'm not important. So when reality testing is weak, interpretation feels like fact. So the practice is pause, name the two separately. Say, I'm noticing anxiety, and I'm also noticing that I don't yet know why they haven't responded. This single pause restores your psychological space. 2. Name affect before assigning meaning. When emotion spikes, meaning becomes distorted. Reality testing improves when we name the feeling first, before assigning intent. For example, your friend cancels plans. Instead of, they don't value me, try, I feel disappointed and rejected right now. And this matters because feelings are real. Interpretations might be not real. And naming affect slows your projection. It transforms, you did this to me, into something God activated in me. That shift alone prevents relational damage. 3. Tolerate not knowing. Impaired reality testing is marked by urgency. Healthy reality testing can tolerate ambiguity. Practice saying, I don't know yet. This is not weakness. This is your strength. Boss gives you brief feedback. The urge, they're unhappy with me, I'm in trouble. So reality testing response would be, I feel anxious, but I don't yet have enough information. Let uncertainty exist without filling it in, because this will help your projection lose its power. 4. Delay action when your emotion is high. Because strong affect temporarily hijacks perception. One of the most effective reality testing skills is delay. Make this rule: no confrontations, messages, or decisions at emotional peak. For example, you feel hurt and want to send a long message explaining why the other person is wrong. Instead, write it, but don't send it. Or wait 24 hours and then reread it when calmer, and then maybe rewrite it and then send or not send. So delay restores reality testing by allowing affect to settle. 5. Ask for clarification, not confirmation. When reality testing is weak, we ask questions that confirm our fear. When it's strong, we ask questions that seek information. Instead of, why did you ignore me, which is an interpretation, we ask, can you help me understand what happened earlier? And this invites real conversation and not defense. And notice this difference. Another person will respond differently if you ask them as a researcher, kind of. Track repetition across relationships. One of the most powerful reality testing questions is, where have I felt this before? If the same certainty appears across multiple relationships, it might not be about the person. For example, you repeatedly feel unseen, discarded, taken for granted. Ask, is this familiar from earlier relationships? This doesn't mean that it's imagined. It means that it may be co-constructed by your mind through projection. Skill number 7, hold two possibilities at once. Healthy reality testing allows complexity. Practice saying both could be true, my feeling makes sense, and I may still be mistaken. For example, I feel hurt by what you said, and I don't know yet if you intended to hurt me. This moves you out of splitting and into integration. Skill number 8, notice moral certainty. Loss of reality testing often comes with moral righteousness. When you feel like 100% right, completely justified, unable to imagine another view, that is a signal to pause, ask, what am I protecting myself from feeling right now? Often the answer is shame, fear, dependency, or grief. And reality testing returns when we tolerate vulnerability. Number 9, use a camera test. Ask yourself, if someone filmed this interaction, what would they see? Not what it felt like, what was actually observable. So this external reference will stabilize your perception. Number 10, practice repair, not proof. Strong reality testing is not about being right. It's about staying connected to relationship and reality. Instead of proving your perception, focus on repair. Say, I may have misunderstood. Can we reset? Of course, none of these skills require perfection. They require practice under emotional overwhelm. So every time you pause, every time you question certainty, every time you choose curiosity over conclusion, you are building your reality testing. And over time, what once feels unquestionable becomes flexible. And this is how your personality structure evolves. If your reality testing has been compromised, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It means that you had to adapt to instability. With consistent relational experience, reflection, reality testing improves. And that is psychological growth.